Guys just believed that this is one we had to have. These guys came with the right attitude. They've had the right attitude. They've stuck together. I think this is appropriate end, to this game is what we've done the last 5 weeks. These guys are just at 4-8, probably one of the lowest moments we've had. Sitting there staring at that record with the expectations we had, and the choice the guys made was just stick with the process, man. Stick with what we're doing, believing in each other, and everybody gave their most. We won 5 in a row, and we put ourselves in a position to cross our fingers tomorrow and cheer like a lot of fans.
Yeah, what was your message to the team, knowing that you guys did as much as you could do, and now it's out of your hands?
Winning in. That's our approach today. Winning in. That's all we can control. Win the game as if this was to get us into the playoffs, and then tomorrow's going to be out of our control.
So how much do you believe you have in the defense that you punted back to them, whatever, 2 minutes?
A lot. They played well all game long. And the first touchdown drive at the end of the game, they made a great throw and catch on 3rd and long. They had the 2 penalties, that our guys were competing. I was happy that we were going to compete. And so I can live with all that. So our defense had played really well all game long and felt confident that they could get that done.
Because you said winning in was mentality, does it feel like a playoff win now?
Not quite. I know what a playoff win feels like. This was what we needed, though. Our guys came in with the right attitude. Jay, shout out Jay for all the stats. I read all the stats, of how hard five road primetime games, AFC North records in primetime. Jay always supplies it for me, and I give it to the team. So I'm just kind of the middleman in this situation. But tried to give them everything that had been hard, everything that stacks against us, because that's what this team responds to, and they responded the right way.
You said 4-8, your season could have went way the other way.
Yeah.
You've come right back. What's that say about the culture and what you guys have
Yeah.
in that locker room you've developed?
I think it says a lot. We work really hard on that. We focus on bringing the right guys that when the times are the toughest, they're going to respond the right way. That's coaches, that's players. And that's all we saw from this team when it got really tough. And so I'm really proud of how this team has stuck together, how everyone's given their best, and we were able to win 5 in a row, and we'll see what happens.
Was there something EJ could have done to get away from? I know there's a call, obviously, but was he in just a tough spot where he couldn't?
He can't see, so there's got to be a Peter call. You got to, that's just got to be communication that happens across the board. The way it shook out, there's really nothing he could have done differently there.
Do you feel like you can't win this game without Trey Hendrickson? His performance tonight just continues.
Defense responded the right way, and we were able to get some points going in halftime. And guess what proved to be the difference there? Just that chain of events. And that's kind of all season long, these games that did not go our way, it was those moments, not just at the end of the game, but in the second quarter and the third quarter where we didn't do enough to put ourselves in front with the command and the lead. And that's one of those moments today that we capitalized on.
How much, Zac, did you think you guys relied on that character that you built over the last 4 weeks?
Well, I mean, there's just look around the league. I mean, it's hard, man, and it's you gotta trust the locker room. That they're handling everybody the right way, and I know it because I see it in the meetings and I see it at practice. So there was never a sense of doubt in my mind of how this team would respond at any moment in this season, whatever our record was. 4-8's the one that stands out the most. But I didn't sit in my office worried at night. How is this team going to respond? I knew how they'd respond because I'd seen it, and we all saw the results that had happened during the season. We all knew that it's kind of one of those years, man, where just some of those games didn't go our way, and those are things that we can certainly control. But again, I just can't state enough how proud I am of everybody that's involved in this Bengals organization and the way that they've stuck together, and we finished with 5 in a row.
What's the biggest difference in the defense tonight between the first time you played?
I'm just real proud of the way those guys played, man. They were tight in coverage. They really competed. They did a good job in the run game. I don't know how many yards they had going into that fourth quarter, but it probably wasn't a lot. And it was just these guys just responded and put them in some tough spots where they had to convert some third downs, and our guys stepped up and made some plays. And just really proud of the effort by all those guys.
We had a big game for Mims coming out because Cody get hurt, which is probably the worst case scenario. And from Mims, what did he get?
He stepped up, man. He stepped up, and I know he's got a lot of pain, and proud of him going in there and delivering, and proud of Cody. Cody Ford's not a guy that we talk enough about. This guy has played left guard. He started a left tackle. He started a right tackle. Sometimes he does it with no practice during the week because it's a last-second switch. And we said this week, hey, you're going to start a right tackle against T.J. Watt, one of the best to ever do it. And he told me, I'll do whatever you want. If you want me to play quarterback, I'll play quarterback. And that's just, you got to have guys like that. So, yeah, the Trey Hendricksons and the Joe Burrows and Jamar, they're going to get a lot of credit. But you got guys like Cody Ford who are willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, or a literal definition of a Bengal. And he's a guy that's unsung. He's not going to get a lot of praise. But for him to step up and Amarius to step up for those plays he needed to, and all those guys, Cordell, who's been in and out of the lineup and jumps back in there at left guard, and Ted, who's been so consistent all season long, and Orlando been playing through everything he's playing for, holding down the left side. It's just it's a group that you can't praise enough for what they fought through.
Zach, can you give us any update on two people, Jermaine Burton? Any more details on why?
No, that was a coach's decision.
And Chase Brown, how close he was?
He was hopeful. We really didn't push it till today, and it didn't look. We did a couple of warm-up things, and you could tell he couldn't go, and he knew it. So he was trying to do everything he could. He wanted so badly to be out there to help the team, but a high ankle coming off of 5-6 days, that's tough. Deep down, we knew it, but we wanted to give him a chance, and it just wasn't the right thing to do.
What are these teams capable of if they are able to make the postseason?
They're capable of everything. They're not going to want us into this tournament, I promise you.
How much are you going to be rooting for Kansas City, especially when you Kansas City more?
I'm rooting against the Broncos and rooting against the Dolphins. I think that's how I'm looking at it.
What do you think this next 12, 18 hours is going to be like for you?
We got to get to work. I mean, coaching staff, we got to prepare for Buffalo. At least we know who we'd be playing. So we'll get to work, and the players can get their bodies right over the next couple of days, and we'll see where it goes.
Talk about culture. You got a guy like Herbert who
Yeah.
is in his age game.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him up. I mean, Khalil, it's a lot of snaps, going from minimal snaps to a ton of snaps, and you saw the way he stepped up at the end of the Denver game. Really proud of what he gave us tonight. He gave us some tough yardage, and it's a tough front to run against. And he gave us a lot, and I know his reception yardage per reception is going to take a big hit tonight, but he was there where he needed to. He got the checkdowns. They were pretty tight with a lot of those checkdowns, so they made that part difficult for us. But proud of the job Khalil did, and in protection, I'll watch it all, but felt like he did a really good job there as well, which is big time for us.
What happened to when he went down? Did you know much about it, or was that something he was battling after that?
Not to my knowledge. It looked like a neck thing, and so I know they took him in the tent because you got to go through concussion protocol. But I've told you before, I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to, and he went back out there and looked pretty good to me.
Kind of an uncharacteristic performance from you guys in the red zone today. Did each trip tell a different story, or was there one main theme that kind of held you guys up?
No, I can't give you the best answer right now. We didn't score like we needed to. We had to burn it. We got a personnel when T was down. We had a personnel issue where we just sometimes need to get it sorted out, and so. I used some timeouts where I prefer not to, but we had to, just because we wanted to make sure we didn't waste the play. And at that point, that was the most important thing.
Could T have come back in potentially in a different circumstance?
I'm not sure. I don't know. We just had to keep it moving and get our personnel because that became the challenge at that point. Okay, thank you.